What's up, my dudes and dudettes? Today we will be talking about school presentations and how wildly inappropriate they can get when you're in the South. As some of you may or may not know, I am 20 years old. I am not that far removed from school. In fact, I was just in school earlier this year, which I dropped out. I make good life decisions, I promise. That is so sad. Alexa, do me a favor and play My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. I'm really not all that bummed about not being in school anymore. School kind of sucked. And by kind of sucked, I mean it really sucked. But let me tell you about my experiences anyways. One lecture that I kind of sat through as a young, small, little fetus Katya was when I was 14, and I went to Bentonville High School. This was before I went to Carrollton High School, so this was quite a while ago. I think it was like, let's see, if I was 14, that must have been like 6 years ago. God, I'm old. Feels like just yesterday. So they're giving us this speech, this lecture essentially, about how drunk driving is bad, you shouldn't drunk drive, which I'm totally on board with, I totally agree with, I understand why they give that talk. But then at the end, this big burly state trooper says, now guys, you don't want to end up in prison because you don't want to end up with Big Bubba as your cellmate. You're in for a rude awakening, just don't drop the soap.
Look, doubloons! Don't drop them.
And we're all sitting there as 14-year-olds like, did he just make a prison rape joke to a room of children? Why? And that's not even the weirdest lecture I have been on the receiving end of. In the South, when you're a child, there's so much weird, wacky crap that you hear. And again, I'm not trying to sound like some condescending northerner. I have lived in the South for a good majority of my life. There have only been 3 years of my life where I have not lived in the South. And that was when I was like 1 to 3 years old, and I lived in Ohio for 1 year, and I lived in Nevada for 2 years. So really, between Tennessee, Arkansas, and Georgia, that's where I've spent a bulk of my life. And at Carrollton High School, we had this whole thing about drunk driving yet again. Now, of course, this is my second rodeo, but this one was funny because it was a video. And so our principal at the time was staring us down the entire time. You better get this information in your head.
You fuckers. You fuckers.
You motherfucker, I will rain hellfire upon you.
Completely dead-eyed. And we're just watching this video like, I feel like I'm being held hostage.
I'm in danger.
So the video starts out with some amazing grade A acting, just mwah, beautiful.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
It's this poorly acted accident where this guy is like drunk and like his friend dies in the accident. He's getting arrested and all that because, you know, drunk driving, manslaughter. And the entire time the song, how could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. That song is playing during the entire video. And my friends and I at the time, and again, like I wasn't really friends with that many people in Carrollton because a lot of people there were mean, but the people I was friends with, we were just looking at each other like, that is the cringiest song they could have played for that. The only song cringier is if they played, what's that song by Evanescence?
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up, wake me up inside. Save me.
Or if they would have played All Star by Smash Mouth. That would have made it like 10 times better. Oh, that was so cringy though. So, a presentation that I endured that sticks out very much in my mind was when I went to Belmont when I was 18 and 19, and they had this thing called convocation. Now, convocation is where you attend these lectures on different subjects to get points towards graduation. One of the first convocations I went to, they had Ricky Skaggs, who's a famous country singer. They had him come in and give us a talk about God. And that went about as well as you'd expect. So he's playing guitar, just playing on this acoustic guitar, and he looks up from his guitar and he stares into our souls and he says, I know where I'm going when I die. Question is, Do any of you non-believers know where you're going? See, your love for Jesus is like a gas pump. You gotta prepare your pump for Jesus. And you gotta keep the tip clean. Make sure nothing comes out of it. And this whole room of 18-year-olds were just looking at each other like, what? Because as an 18-year-old, well, really, as me, your brain goes to one very, very dirty image and you just cannot shake it out of your head. I'm like, why are so many analogies for Christianity so inherently sexual? I saw this one sign on the side of the road for a church that said the most powerful position is on your knees. I also see ones that are like, let the Lord come into you. And I'm like, why? But that wasn't the end of it. Then he gets back on his guitar, plays like nothing happened, then he puts the guitar back down. He stares at us again, he's like, y'all are going to hell if you don't make changes now in your life. And we're all just looking at each other like, did you see that? Because what the hell? So what have we learned from these presentations? Well, number 1, don't drink and drive or else you will go to jail and get raped by Big Bubba. Number 2, don't get drunk and wreck your car because you will get arrested and a cringy Simple Plan song will play in the background of your arrest.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
Number 3, prepare your pump for Jesus, as sexually suggestive as that sounds. Well, I've had a fun time with this video, but I'm really tired and I don't know how to end it, so bye, I guess.